this time.
No bull, no Scotty, no Pippen, no Michael, no Jordan, no bull, no bull, no bull. Only real shit in my town, not if fake niggas ain't round. No bull, no bull, yeah, no bull.
Good evening, people. Thank you for joining us. If you were here a little bit early, we had a little technical issue. So we come live, but there was a few technical problems. So apologies for a bit of confusion there. Trust me, no one was more confused than I was. So that was an interesting 10 minutes we just had. So apologies about that. Thanks for joining me. As always, we've seemed to have a lot to talk about this week. Not all good, same as last week. A lot of bad stuff off the court that's happened, which we're going to obviously get into. My guest tonight he's not a Bulls fan, so it's the second time we've had a guest who isn't a Bulls fan, but he does have a soft spot for the Bulls, and I'm really looking forward to this because we interact quite a bit on Twitter, but I've never actually spoken to him. So I'm really looking forward to this. And thanks for him to jumping in with such short notice as well, because my other guest had to pull out, unfortunately, which has turned out great because I'm buzzing to have him in. So without further ado, Mr. Rob Farmer, a.k.a. Bobbie Buckets. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm really good. Thanks for joining me, mate. I really appreciate it. As I say, especially at such short notice as well. I think I only put the tweet out yesterday and you were straight on it. So, buzzing to have you, man.
Cheers, man. Appreciate it. We look forward to it.
We interact a fair bit on Twitter. You're really active with the UK community. It's brilliant. So, but this is the first time we've spoken. So it's good, man. I've been looking forward to this.
Me too, man.
And shout out to for the jersey as well. If you can't see it, if you're listening just to the podcast. Rob is wearing a D Rose Bulls jersey, the red Adidas one, which is fire. So I've actually got that myself.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant jersey. So he's made the effort straight away. He's winning Bulls fans over before we've even started. So let's start with the usual one, mate. So firstly, how did you get into basketball? And secondly, why the New Orleans Pelicans, which is obviously your team?
Yeah, well, got into basketball sort of when I was at school, sort of early to mid-90s. It's round, sort of when Shaq was in the league and that, and I just fell in love with the game straight away, just the intros, everything. And then started playing myself. Pell's been to New Orleans a couple of times, loved the place, and just loved the feel of the city. You know, it's a gorgeous place, the food's decent as well. So, yeah, just love the buzz and sort of all around the city.
Why? I've heard the food's awesome in New Orleans, by the way. It's the one thing that everyone always says about that place. The food is apparently phenomenal. How come you went there then? Have you got family there or?
No, I went to Florida, and then it was just kind of, I've been to Florida a couple of times, then it was kind of like, I want to go somewhere else, and sort of just picked there. It was just always wanted to go sort of to the deep south around the area.
Right.
And I fell in love with it, yeah. It's just the people, the place, the buzz of the city, and the jambalaya and the gumbo helps as well. So.
Wow. Because it's not a huge market. Certainly overseas, like you don't see. Well, maybe you might tell me otherwise, but I don't see too many Pelicans fans walking around.
No. I think if I wear the City Edition jersey from last season, I wear that out, people are like, "What jersey's that?" I know Rich Barrett's not a big fan of it. He likes to tell me quite often, but
is that the red, the white, and the blue with the logo that you got on your hat in the middle?
Yeah, it's got the fleur de lis on it.
Yes, that's
three
right.
of them, yeah. Rich Barrett seems to look like a curtain or a tablecloth, but
I remember when they dropped it. Rich was straight away not a fan of those. They weren't. Well, a lot of people weren't. I've actually got. I don't know if people know this. Maybe I've mentioned it before. I have got quite a few jerseys, not just Bulls jerseys. I've got other teams as well. I don't ever wear the other team's jerseys. I don't know why I've got them. My missus asked me the same question. They're up on a rail in the loft currently, and I've got loads of jerseys, and I haven't got. There's a certain team I haven't got, which everyone will know what's coming. Haven't got a Knicks jersey, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of that. But I do have a Pelicans jersey, would you believe? I wish I'd got it out. I should have got it down, actually. I should have made more of an effort and got it ready for you. I've got the Zion Williamson jersey, which was it's got the Nola on the front and it's got the purple and the yellow.
Oh, I love that one, yeah.
It's the white jersey with the purple and yellowy. I can't even describe it fully.
Yeah, it's city colours, yeah.
The city
it's like
colours,
yeah.
yeah.
The Flag Louisiana colours sort of thing, yeah.
The reason I got that, speaking of Rich Barrett, we done the NBA UK fans watch party in Birmingham. It would have been 2.5, nearly 3 years ago now, in fact. Nearly 2 years ago. I believe it was February last year. Yeah, it was February 2 years ago. Sorry, not last year. Spit my words out. February 2 years ago. And we got one for a raffle we were doing. And I'll be honest, I wasn't that keen on a jersey when I saw it. But saw it on the telly rather, or pictures of it. But when we done the raffle for the NBA UK fans watch party, we had one of those as the main raffle prize. And when the lads got it out, every one of us were like, "Oh, that jersey's really nice." And,
I like the colourway on that jersey.
It's such a nice jersey, and I ended
jersey.
up managing to get older ones. So yeah, I've got one of them, which is a bit random, but
nice, man.
Yeah, so I have got a Pelicans jersey. I don't think there's probably not too many people that could say that in this country.
I know, that's it. I think I'm the only one. I don't know. I was going to start a Pelicans UK account, but I think I'll be the only one following.
Do it, man. Seriously, do it. I don't know if there is a Pelicans one, actually. I don't think there is there?
No, I've not seen one about. I've had a look around. I can't see anyone. So yeah,
Do it, man. I sat on this account, on my Bulls account, for quite a while before I'd done anything about it. And honestly, man, it's the best thing I've done. It takes up far too much of my time than it should. But I honestly love every minute. I say every minute. Sometimes it's not all great. As if you've seen me getting into it today with some people.
Yeah, I did see a few. Yeah.
Sometimes I do bite when I perhaps shouldn't. I act in the moment, but everyone who knows me will know that I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I just can't help myself sometimes.
Yeah.
But do it, man. 100%. If you just do it, that would be my advice. The community's absolutely, mind you, you're big enough in a community as an individual. You don't need that. But if you want to do it 100%. You plenty of backing from all
like
the
you said,
other
it's
guys.
such a good community. The UK community and NBA is just brilliant. You know,
It's an amazing place, man. I'm so glad to be part of it. It's a brilliant place. So getting away from the Pelicans, you've obviously got a soft spot for the Bulls because you're quite vocal about that on Twitter. You're wearing a D Rose Bulls jersey. How did that? Is it just the obvious from the 90s sort of phase, or?
Yeah, it was the early 90s. I mean, the Bulls was everything because in the early 90s, it was kind of like I didn't have a set team I followed. Sort of early 90s that time. I just liked teams, like players, like kids do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all around. The Bulls. Obviously like Jordan, Pippen. Everything like that. And it was just the arena intros, everything. Always had a soft spot for the Bulls.
The Bulls intro, I'm probably biased as hell, but there's nothing like it in my opinion.
No, it's not. Yeah.
I'm just sat there watching it on telly. I mean, I've not been to Chicago yet. I'm hoping to get out there this year once all the COVID stuff settles down a bit and the restrictions are all lifted, because I want to go and get the full experience, So I honestly think if I'm at the UC and that intro starts, I don't know if I'll be able to hold it together. I'll be honest.
That's it. It does. It gives you shivers hearing it.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, I can't wait to be there and to see that live. It's going to be an amazing moment. But so you're a big Jordan fan, obviously, from the day, or?
Yeah, big Jordan, huge Jordan fan. Loved Pippen as well. Horace Grant, the whole team from that sort of era, sort of all the sort of players from around then. Just always had a soft spot for them because it's weird. 'Cause other sports, I'm more root for the underdog. I don't like the team that always wins, but the Bulls are like the one sort of franchise that have, in that era as well, Jordan, that always rooted for and followed.
It's weird. I'm the same. I'm normally go for the underdog, but I think there's just something about it, wasn't there? You just... I don't know, they were bigger than basketball.
Around the team, and it was, back then it was, I used to stay up, or if I was, if I had school or something, I'd, record it on VHS, then watch it the next day.
Yeah, they were the days, huh?
They're classic old days, yeah.
Yeah, it was like they were, I mean... At the time, basketball, maybe I'm remembering this wrong, I was a kid as well, but it didn't seem like it was a big deal. But because of the Bulls,
it made it, made it global.
A big deal over here. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing. So no, that's good, man. It's good that you've got a soft spot. Excuse me. Obviously, well aware of a soft spot, or more than a soft spot, for a certain Lonzo Ball. I know
Yeah,
you
love
absolutely
Lonzo.
love Lonzo, and you were gutted when he left.
Oh, well, yeah, I was gutted when he left. But yeah, so another reason why I sort of have a soft spot for the Bulls as well, because he's a great player, and I think he's been able to show it a bit more this season. But I was gutted about his injury.
Oh,
Got the same injury myself at the moment, just waiting for an operation. But yeah, I mean, it's the things that go on notes Lonzo, like just how savvy on defense he is, and I think he's criminally underrated. I think he was slightly overhyped at UCLA and stuff, and when he went to the Lakers, but he's a solid NBA player. He's just
I think he's more than that, to be honest.
yeah,
I mean, I'll be honest. Obviously, like you say, he was so overhyped being drafted by the Lakers, and his
yeah,
dad was barking all the time. And I think I've said it before on here. Like at the time, I remember just thinking his dad was unbearable.
yeah.
And you look back now and you think, well, he got 2 of his 3 boys in the NBA, and one of them was on the fringe, and I think he's still in the G League, unless I'm
Yeah,
mistaken.
he's in the G League for the Greensboro Swarm, and he's not been getting many minutes, but he's been playing, shooting brilliant. I've always thought LiAngelo's the best shooter out of the 3.
Really?
Yeah, he's got the purest shooting form. Now Alonso's changed his; it's a lot better now. His shot, but yeah, I think he'll make it. He should get picked up at least with a 10-day. I thought before the 10 days had been handed out, he might have got one, but
Yeah, I was. Excuse me, sorry. I was really surprised he hasn't been picked up. To be fair,
yeah,
with everyone so short-handed. But listen, you've got to take your hat off to LeVar Ball. I know the guys obviously got their own talent. Of course they have. But if it wasn't for him screaming
Definitely,
and
yeah.
shouting, would they have got there? Who knows?
No, that's it. He's raised them right. So I think he's pushed them hard, but it's paid dividends for him. So
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, with Lonzo, I wasn't sure when he went to the Lakers, and then obviously Lakers traded him to you guys, part of the Anthony
Yeah.
Davis trade. It was, again, I'll be honest, I didn't watch a lot of Pelicans games, so I wasn't watching a lot of Lonzo at the time, and Bulls fans were desperate to get him. We needed a point guard. We've not had a proper point guard for so long, and I felt that Bulls fans were putting a bit too much on Lonzo because he was going to be the saviour and everything else. And I mean, it turns out I'm an idiot because he's absolutely brilliant.
yeah, I mean, you can see it's the way he's playing this season for the Bulls. He's enjoying basketball again. I think he was a bit frustrated with the Pels, but the Bulls are allowing him to be a pure point guard. And some of the plays he's doing, like Caruso, Levine, DeRozan, they're just,
He's like I'm not an NFL fan, but I know the term. I understand the term. He is like a quarterback, isn't he?
Yeah, some of the passes he used to throw to Zion, like 3-quarter, core alley-oop, so just like pinpoint accuracy. I was talking to Sam Blake about it as well, saying like the accuracy of passing and his vision as well.
He sees it. He sees these passes before he's even got the ball in his hands. It
was that pass to Levine earlier in the season where he just threaded it. It was a quarterback's pass. He just threaded it through the gap. It was a brilliant pass. Just heads up.
He caught it with one hand and threw it with the same hand. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But it's not. It's everything with Lonzo. People say we miss his defense. Of course you do. He's a great defender. We absolutely miss his defense. But you miss his passing, his playmaking. Obviously his defense. But you just hit on it earlier. His shooting as well. That has been such a loss.
It's the space, the way, because he's improved his shot so much, the space he creates for everyone else, because he's a threat from 3, he just creates so much space for everyone else. And if the Bulls move the ball around really well, then it's,
And his shot was something that everyone used to laugh at, wasn't it?
Yeah, he kind of like went from one side, then shot across. But he's, it's fair play to him. I was reading something, I think Charles Barkley slating Ben Simmons, sort of saying he's not improved his shot at all, but Lonzo, fair play, he's gone out and he's improved his shot, and it's
I mean, now he's a solid shooter from beyond the arc, isn't he?
He's completely changed his form in one off season as well. It's hats off to him.
Going back to that Nets game, the one that we won, not the one we lost. He wasn't having a great game shooting the ball, and then when it mattered right at the end, he sunk a 3 from absolutely nowhere. So just proof that you just cannot leave him out there alone. You just cannot.
No, that's it, yeah.
With his injury, you touched on it yourself. I know you're suffering the same thing, the meniscus tear.
Yeah.
They're saying 6 to 8 week recovery. And I know they initially said it's something he could potentially play through. And as soon as they said that, I thought, no. You can't be doing that. 6 to 8 week recovery, yes, it absolutely sucks. But the reality is, if it is 6 to 8 weeks, he's still going to be back plenty of time before the playoffs.
Yeah, that's it.
That's when we're going to really need him.
That's the thing, like you said, because playing through something like that is just going to make it worse. Where the meniscus is, it sort of sits between the bones, so it stops the bones from rubbing. So that it's better to get it done early than to leave it.
The other thing I heard from one of the doctors or what have you said that they could basically they could shave part of it down, which the recovery time would then be quicker. I think it was 2 to 4 weeks, but the long term damage would potentially be a lot worse. Whereas actually repairing it, yes, longer recovery, but long term much better for him. So I'm glad common sense has come through there as far as I'm concerned, because he's going to be missed for the next 6 to 8 weeks, but we should dare I say it, after the last 10 days we've had, we should still be in the playoffs, and that's when we're going to need him. So
yeah, definitely. It'd be interesting to see him in the playoffs. It'll be his first playoffs.
Would it?
Lakers made
Did he not get there with the Lakers?
No, definitely didn't with the Pels.
Oh no. So it's funny because it'll be Zach LaVine's first playoff series as well.
Yeah,
first playoff. So
crazy thing, isn't it?
It is madness that those two have never made the playoffs. Absolutely crazy. Why we're talking of injuries, we've got to get on it. The Caruso injury.
Yeah.
I'm still gutted. I'm not over it. If anyone's seen my Twitter today, they know that I'm still not over it. I'm not sure I will be for a while. This one really, really hurt. Really hurt. He'd only just come back from a short time out with injury. And Grayson Allen, you absolute scumbag. I know you're never going to see this. You're never going to hear this. But I will say it and I will scream it from the rooftops. He's a dirty player. He's got history of being dirty.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. You cannot defend this guy. Some of the Bucks players coming out, I understand they've got to try and support their guy. I get that, but some of the statements, we know Grayson's not a dirty player.
Yeah, I saw Drew Holiday said that.
Yeah.
You're not watching Duke, it's like...
I love Drew Holiday, and I'm sure you do as well. I mean, he's phenomenal. Obviously, he was with you guys, but come on. I mean, I get the support, but we're not stupid.
No,
that's what I don't like about it. It's like you're trying to make out that people are stupid. We know what he's like. To me, yes, initially I think he went for the ball. His eyes were up at the ball.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But he grabbed Caruso's, not shoulder, like I stated on Twitter and got called out for, but it was like his forearm sort of there.
Yeah, it sort of got caught there, and it was just
and he kind of pulled him down, and then with his right hand he flung that over and sort of pushed it. It was just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I was shocked Caruso got up straight. Well, not straight away.
Yeah, well, I thought he was going to be knocked out. Because the angles at first, it looked like he really hit his head on the floor. And like we said before, it looked like a shoulder injury to start with, but obviously broke his wrist. But like you said, I think the thing with Grayson Allen is he was like it at Duke University.
Yeah.
I think there were 2 instances of him tripping people up, and then. Well, I think you said Summer League, his rookie year, like we said in Memphis, he got thrown out of the game. I thought all of his first games for being a douchebag again. And for me, what makes it worse is there's not even any attempt to check on Caruso if he was all right. No. And then him smirking on the bench, you just it just sums up.
He's come out and said that one of his teammates made a joke, and he was smiling at the joke, apparently. That joke must have been really hilarious because he was still smiling as he was escorted back to the dressing room. So I'm sorry, that was absolutely intent, and you got banned for a game, which is comical. But I'm not surprised with the NBA because if they ban him for more than a game, there's quite a lot of these sort of incidences, isn't there? And yes, Grayson Allen absolutely gets it because of his reputation. And I'm sorry, but that's just what you got to live with if you're that kind of a person.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's if it was someone else, you might think different. But because he's got that reputation and the way he reacted, or didn't react, depending which way you look at it, it's like it all adds up. It was just a douchebag play, and if you do something else, he'll come out and own it, apologise. But the fact he's not done anything, it's just it kind of just shows what kind of person he is, really.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I will say, the Bucks Twitter account got absolutely hounded. I don't know if you saw the tweet they put out first thing. In their defence, it was before the injury was announced.
Okay, yeah.
And also, I still think it was classless. Even the Chicago Bulls Twitter social media guys got on it and just put seriously.
Yeah.
It showed a massive lack of class. They're saying it was a scheduled tweet that was actually scheduled before. I'm not buying that personally.
No.
And they did delete it. The sad thing about that whole thing was the poor girl who runs the account got found out on her personal account.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And she took quite a lot of abuse. She had to change her account to private. So I did send a tweet out. That's not acceptable. There was some personal tweets that were just
Yeah.
not nice. You can't go. Somebody tried to tell me that they started it with he made his bed or something or other. He's got to deal with the consequences. And I said, well, firstly, it's not actually a he. Not that matters. It shouldn't matter what sex you are, of course, but you can't go personal on people. And there were some real nasty tweets I saw. So
yeah,
do better, people. Come on, we're all annoyed about it. It was classless, but don't throw personal assaults at people because no, we got to be better than that.
That's it, man.
We've
Definitely.
got to be better than that. It was a game. Yes, I'm as annoyed as anyone out there. Trust me. Everyone knows my love for Caruso.
Yeah.
And we are going to miss him. It showed when he come back for the game last week, the couple of games, how much better we were.
Yeah.
Just with him and the team. And he didn't even have a great box score, but he brings so much more than that. So trust me, no one's more upset than I am, and I am still not over it. And with the Lonzo news and everything else, it's just it seems like we're going for.
You sound like terrible luck. I mean, it just seems like one player after the other for the Bulls at the moment, and it's and like you say about people getting abused on Twitter, it's like Vooch, the abuse he's getting, man. It's
man,
cut him some slack. You know, every player goes through these phases where having a bit, poor form, and he's,
it's
just cut some slack.
Sorry, Sam. I've just seen your comment now. Sam's in the comments. Sam Blake and said, "Stop going personal on Vooch too, balls." And you're on the same page. That's exactly what Rob just said. So, 100% agree with that. Listen, I'm a big Vooch fan. I support Vooch. I still think he's going to come good. I think that kind of a player doesn't just disappear in one season. He's becoming more and more difficult to defend at the moment. His performances on the court.
He just needs one good game, I think. One solid game, get his confidence back. Because when you play basketball, it's such a confidence-based game.
He played well against the Cavs. I'm just looking now. Sorry, I've got the box score up on my thing.
Cool.
37 minutes. He scored 24. He was our top scorer. No, he wasn't. Sorry, DeRozan was top scorer, of course, but second top scorer. So he had 24 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block. He had a really solid game. He was really good against the Cavs, but then he follows it up with a few bad games. And we all know Vooch is much, much better than he's shown this season. Orlando fans will tell you that, or, he's just a much better player. And I say it every week, but it does feel like a massive mental thing with him. Yeah. And he looks like the game last night, he looked visibly upset and stressed and frustrated and everything else you can say about it is, he even fouled out yesterday. It's sad, man. It's sad he's going through this, and I know he's been taking a lot of slack for his support of Novak Djokovic as well, and people have sort of made that all personal, and I don't agree with Vooch on that, I have to say. I don't agree with his points on that, but I will defend him as a player, and I like him as a person. I think he comes across very respectful, usually. And people are getting personal on him. And
there's no need. Players go through, even Steph Curry's going through a slump at the moment. He had that 1 of 13 he shot from 3. It's like, players go through slumps. It happens. I think basketball as well, it's such a, for the players, it's such a confidence-based game. If he hits your first 3 shots, apart from Westbrook the other night, he went on to shoot, whatever. But if you hit your first 3 shots, you fine, you want to shoot all the time. But if you miss your first 3 or 4, you see some players' head goes down and don't shoot anymore. But he'll come good. He's a good player. I know, MD might die, and used to love him when he was at the Magic.
Yes.
And he's a good player. He'll come good.
I hope so. Magic for Geraint is in my comments again this morning. I think I was trying to wind him up. We were winding each other up. To be fair, he tagged me this morning, which I was dreading. I kind of went to sleep at 1:30 or 1:45 this morning, knowing I'm going to be waking up to a tweet from Geraint. He tagged me in something, and sure enough, he did. And we went a bit backwards and forwards, and he basically, I mean, it's all love. I love Geraint a bit, so we have a nice bit of banter. I know that none of us are going to take it too much to heart, and we'll have a little DM afterwards, you know. And he said, look, Vooch is going to come good. He's got to. And I agree. I do agree. But the longer it goes on, the more worried I get. It's definitely a mental thing with him. He played well against the Bucks as well, to be fair. I'm just looking now. You see he had 19 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. So not a terrible game at all. But it was last night's game was just... another dud, which we'll have to just scrap off and hope that he can bounce back from. Although saying that, he is questionable for tonight's game.
Yeah.
An injury as well. So maybe he needs to be out for Bulls fans to realise. I mean, when he was out earlier in the season, people were realising just how important he was. It's not just his scoring, it's his presence and everything. His scoring's a big part of his game. So when he's not scoring, it does massively affect it. But he does other bits. He's not just a wasted body out there, you know, like many people are claiming. But it's I don't know. I was always back Vooch, but I don't know. We'll see. I hope that he can prove everyone else wrong, because like Sam says, some of the tweets I've seen about him are just disgusting.
I know.
People want him traded and.
Yeah, so just blaming them. I read one earlier. It's funny, like before it came on, some of the tweets saying, "Oh, people wonder why Lonzo's not averaging 9 to 10 assists per game. It's because of Vooch." You know, where do they get this stuff from, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's got a little bit of truth to it, perhaps, but you know, even so, it's what I like about the team that we've got assembled at the Bulls is they're a team, and they've got each other's back, and you see it with DeRozan. So Vooch might be having a terrible night shooting, but if DeRozan sees him out there and he's open, he will give him the ball.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if he's missed 10 shots in a row. DeRozan will give him the ball and tell him to shoot his way out of it. And I love that.
Yeah. It's
Absolutely
that would help big time. Having the support someone like DeRozan who's encouraged to keep going, you know, it's huge for players' confidence. He'll come good. You know, hopefully. Did you say he's questionable tonight?
I believe he's questionable. I can't remember. Oh, it was his knee. He actually banged it last night in the game, so maybe that's something to do with it. It looked like he banged it quite hard. He was down for a while.
Yeah.
And I think it is his knee that he's questionable with tonight. So we'll see. Hopefully it is just a knock and a bruise as opposed to anything else. It seems to be that way. So yeah, I hope he plays because I think we need him. But I also equally, if he doesn't, it might make the other fans appreciate him a bit more. So I don't know. I'm on the fence with that one.
Yeah.
But either way, I hope it is just a short-term thing, regardless. Speaking of the Bucks game, sorry Sam, I've got to do it, mate. Kobe White, his shot was massively off, and Kobe's been brilliant for us this season. But I think he went 0 for 9 from the 3-point line, which is
tough shooting night.
That's a tough night.
Yeah.
If Kobe's on fire, which he has been so often since he's coming back, we win that game, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we lost it by 4 points. I'm not going to lie, I'm quite a positive person, but I was just grateful we kept that game close.
Yeah.
With the injuries we had, did you see it at all? Did you watch the highlights of that or anything? The Bucks
I've
game?
watched highlights of it. Yeah, I watched highlights of the Bucks game. Like I said, it's keeping it close, but it's like I watched on Martin Luther King Day, Pels game against Celtics. We're up 18, and then just collapse in the second half again. It's just like it starts so well. I heard Jones set the play. Valanciunas playing brilliant this season, but then we just have a collapse. It seems every game.
He's a solid player, Valanciunas. That was a good get.
Yeah, it was a good get, that one. He's definitely. I liked Adams, but he's not great from Adams. But it's just that collapse we keep having. You know, if the Bulls were up 18, you can't see them losing it. But if the Pels are up 18 to 20, you think, oh god, it's not over yet.
Yeah, with Bulls this season, it's been the opposite. You kind of, even last night, you just felt we can still get back into this. Whereas the Bulls of old, that was no way. But they're the comeback team. Certainly in that fourth quarter. Last night it was just too much to ask. DeRozan had no help. I mean, he dropped, I think it was 41 he got last night. Let's get it up here. Bear with me. Yeah, he had DeRozan hit 41 last night. It's just help the man out. I mean, Kobe dropped 22 to be fair. Vooch had a terrible night last night, right? He still had 13 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists. I mean, that's not...
Yeah.
It's not
They're
nothing,
good numbers,
is it?
No. He doesn't deserve any, like, the abuse he's getting. And that's still solid numbers putting up. So, I mean, if he's dropping, 4 points or 2 rebounds a game, you warrant it, but not numbers like that.
No, I mean, I know the box score doesn't tell everything. Obviously, you can't always go on the box score, but it's certainly not nothing. Io had a tough night. He just didn't get many shots, to be fair, last night, Io. But I've also got to credit Magic, because they didn't turn up like a team that had only won 8 games this season.
Yeah.
I say turn up, it was on their own court, but that they come out with a purpose, and they've got a lot of injuries themselves. So you've got to give him credit. Franz Wagner, he looked good against us when they played before, but Mo Wagner coming to this game, and he was brilliant. Both the brothers were fantastic in this game last night. So as annoyed as you are as a Bulls fan, you have to take your hat off to Orlando Magic for last night. They just wanted it more than us. It's as simple as that. I'd hoped we had learned in the Houston game, when we just turned up and got beat, that wouldn't happen again. And I do think that's exactly what happened last night, apart from with DeRozan. For me, DeRozan's the only one that could have walked off the court last night with his head held high. I think the others, none of them were good enough.
No, it happens sometimes. If you look at the Magic's record, they left foot off the gas. But I was really impressed with the rookie who was back last night. Was it Suggs for the Magic?
Oh, Jalen Suggs, yeah.
Yeah, really impressed with him last night. Yeah, great game.
Yeah, he did. The one thing that did make me laugh, he was... Towards the end, he had just dunked, I think, on DeRozan, actually.
Yeah. Well, he sort of forehand in the face a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, I remember at the time thinking, that's probably an offensive foul. DeRozan hit the deck. Yeah. People arguing that's just how you get the leverage, which I understand. But at the end of the day, if you hit someone, then you see them given. It's one of them. You see him given.
You see him given, like I said. But
it wasn't intentional, of course it wasn't. But he got the and one. It ended up being a defensive foul, and he got the and one. And when he walked off, he made the free throw as well. And he was walking off, flexing and going like this.
Yeah, going to load it. Yeah.
Stacey King was on the call saying, "Come on, man, because come on, you've won 8 games, man. Yeah. Come on, what are you doing?"
That's it. I did see that. Stacey King replied to someone's tweet. Someone saying a similar thing. He goes, "That you probably never played basketball. You've won 8 games, all right."
Yeah, you won 8 games out of, you've lost 39 basically.
Yeah.
That was quite funny. Stacey King was brilliant fun. Another thing I'll touch on, DeMar DeRozan was on a break, and Mo Wagner, I believe it was, sort of got his arms around him. That happens. That's a clever foul to give away. It ended up, I think it was a clear path they gave it in the end. But what are you going to do? Just let him run? And in a fairly close game, you just let him have the basket? No, you do something. You make the foul, and you can give him a little nudge, but he's probably going to make it anyway. So that's the only way you're stopping DeRozan, is by wrapping your arms around him. I know DeRozan didn't like it. I think a lot of that was frustration more than anything else.
Yeah, I was about to say that. They had their sort of head-to-head, didn't they? And then Wagner sort of pushed his arm away. And it's quite full of commentary saying, DeRozan isn't the player you want to be doing that with,
No, but to me, even watching it live last night, Stacey King was saying, you don't do that to DeRozan. I thought, well, hang on a minute. DeRozan kind of...
Yeah, he approached him, didn't he, sort of thing.
And he put his hand on Wagner first.
Yeah.
All Wagner done was pushed his hand off of him.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, mate. I love DeRozan, by the way. Big DeRozan fan. But I respected what Wagner done. He stood up to himself against one of the top players.
That's it, yeah. He can't not stand up for himself. It was, I don't know, it's got a mountain out of a molehill. It wasn't too, bad. I think it was a terrible foul at all, was it? But like you said, I think it's more frustration on DeRozan's front.
It wasn't malicious. He wasn't trying to cause injury. DeRozan was still on the floor. He hadn't left his feet. It was just, he was holding him back. He didn't want to give away the easy bucket.
Yeah.
That's a foul that you make. If I'm a coach, and I'm really not a coach, believe you me, but if I was, I would be happy if my guy committed that foul. with someone of
Yeah,
DeRozan.
that's
It's
it's
clear,
a clever foul, as they call it. He's not a Grayson Allen, so it's
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. I saw, going back to the Grayson Allen thing, Sean from Bucks UK put a tweet out about, I can't even remember who it was. I think it was one of the Hornets guys.
Kelly Oubre, yeah, last
Was
night.
it Kelly Oubre? Was it?
Yeah, it did look very similar, to be fair. You know, in this, it did look very, very similar. He's kind of went for the block and he's yanked him down out of the air. He's landed hard.
To me, it was different. I didn't see with the Caruso one. He actually grabbed his arm to pull down.
Yeah.
This
so
one
it looked similar. It wasn't the same intent, I don't think. Kelly Oubre's getting a bit of stick now, but I don't think he had the intent there.
No, and he also didn't follow through with his follow-up arm.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing, and that was one that got me. They reeled me in with that. Sean put the tweet out. I absolutely bit, and then I had one of his Bucks guys going at me, and in the end, I just had to. I could feel I was getting wound up. I was.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely not over this Caruso injury, clearly, because I was really wound up, getting myself wound up. I had to just switch Twitter off. I need to do better at not responding to some of these things. Ollie from the Magic the Miami Heat podcast that he does with Dan Healy. He put one out as well this afternoon. That was the DeRozan and Mo Wagner one, and he put a tweet out, and he got me, and I bit. Well, it wasn't a bite. I was basically said what I just said to you. DeRozan was just frustrated. Wagner done nothing wrong, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry that you've bit. Well, this wasn't meant for you or what have you." But I said the reason I've commented, mate, is purely because I've seen some of the tweets at the time of Bulls fans going at Wagner when I don't think he'd done anything wrong at all. So.
No, I mean, I watched it. It wasn't even a hard foul. I was quite surprised. Like I said, I think it was just frustration. I was quite surprised DeRozan reacted the way he did. You know, it wasn't a hard foul. Like you said, he didn't. You know, there's no intention caused harm. It was one of those where, like you said, not closest game. Not just let him go to the bucket. You know, when he's in range. But yeah, it's kind of. I don't know much about nothing really. More frustration on DeRozan's part, I think.
I think that's all it was. I think that, like Sam's put in the comments, bad day at the office. Bad day at the office last night, though. Not that it was mattered in the end. 22 last night. Oh, Kobe, I think he's talking about the Kobe dropped 22 last night.
Yeah.
I'm on the wrong game. Sorry, guys. I think he did. Yeah, Kobe did drop 22, so much better game from Kobe. Although he did only make one of three from the arc. One of seven. From the arc.
Yeah.
Which. Again, I mean, Kobe is a much better shooter than that. He just is. But he still dropped 22 points. So.
Yeah. That's it. He still dropped 22. And I think Kobe's another one. He's got. If he starts hot, then he's going to have a big game. But he needs that quick start, I think, sometimes. A bit like Lonzo's can be similar. Like we were saying about that next game when you hit clutch three. You know, he's pretty quiet. And you look at the box score sometimes with Lonzo, you know, you see he's only attempted 4 shots the whole game, or 4 to 6 shots, but you know, then he'll get 11 assists or something. But yeah,
he wasn't on at all that next game, the one that we won. And a bit like we touched on earlier, DeRozan still found him at the end wide open, and he's going to give him the ball and tell him to shoot his way out of it. So yeah, which he did. I'm not worried with Kobe. That would change. Kobe's been phenomenal for us since he came back. He really has, and he was someone that I wasn't massively high on, as people will know. He's kind of either red hot or ice cold. But I don't think that's the case anymore. He's been really consistent. Okay, maybe not from his 3-point shooting the last couple of games, but he's doing a lot more than just that now. He's not just a shooter. He can go to the rim and he can do bits and pieces. So yeah, I'm that's nothing on Kobe. I'm just saying, if he shoots the ball a bit better, we probably beat the Bucks, and we may be in the Orlando Magic game as well. But listen, that's not me putting that on him, not at all. Vooch had a terrible night. Our bench, they had a terrible, terrible night. The Magic bench outscored us by, oh my God, I can't tell you, probably about 30 points, I think, their bench outscored our bench by. Our bench was shocking, to be truthful. But our bench is Troy Brown Jr., solid player. Matt Thomas can shoot the 3-ball. Hill, Tony Bradley, and McKinney. So, you know, these are all guys. Most of them have been picked up because of COVID or injury. So it's
yeah.
But
It's tough. Like I said, when you're second units, getting outscored like that by the side is tough. I mean, I think Pels, we have a similar problem with that. We've got Jose Alvarado had a great game against the Knicks, and I was so pleased with him. And I think Herb Jones for us has been a revelation this season. How he went that far down the draft order, I don't know. He's been a solid defender. He's shooting to come
What
up
number
as well.
did you get him at?
I think it was like 30, 38 or something. He dropped really far down, but he's... Was it Texas University?
It couldn't have been 30. We got Io at 38. That's the only reason I know that. Yeah, Io was 38.
But yeah, I think he was really far down, Herb Jones. That's it, Io was 38, yeah. But yeah, he's Flo's playing really good. But Ingram's out tonight for us.
Right.
From his ankle, so that's a big blow. God knows what's happening with Zion. That seems to be put back. Every other week that gets put back.
Yeah, we've not touched on that, have we? It's such a shame because when he plays, he's kind of unstoppable, isn't he?
Yeah, he's phenomenal. But it's, I don't know what to say. It's a foot fracture initially. And then weeks and weeks later, I'll be back in 2 weeks. Now saying another 5 to 6 weeks. Now he's gone to Portland with the night team to rehab alone. So I really don't know what's happening with him.
It's so sad. It's so sad. And I feel for Pelicans fans. I don't feel for the organisation because I don't know how you feel about the organisation, but the players that they've let go, I get the Anthony Davis, why they let him go. He wanted out. I get that. Drew Holiday, Lonzo Ball. It's just crazy to me, some of the players you've let go. And I don't really understand what they're trying to do. I
don't know. I mean, Willie Green's been a great coach. I think he's been really good this first season. With the squad he's got, a bunch of players he's doing a really good job. I think he's trying to build young, but there's still these sort of murmurs about Zion going to New York or being with RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish is there now as well. And they're all teammates with Duke, so I don't know, but it is sad with Zion. He's such hype, but he lives up to hype when he plays. I think was it last season, 27 points a game he averaged, and but it's a big loss for us. But
his injuries were always going to be a worry, in my opinion. And I'm not a college basketball guy at all, but obviously it was well documented of his knees in particular. And I mean the size of the man, and so for someone who's so athletic, it can't be good that weight coming down on those knees each time.
That's exactly it. I mean he had the same injuries Lonzo got. He tore his meniscus last season, and he was he missed like a big chunk of the season. And then, to have that sort of injury. But like I said, it's a style of play for, some of that build to have like a 40-odd inch vertical jump. It's going to put a lot of stress on the joints.
It's crazy.
And the way he plays as well. So, but...
Did you want Zion with that pick, or would you have rather taken Ja Morant? And I'm not talking about hindsight, I'm talking about at the time.
At the time, Zion, because, Zion was just, we high packaged him at Duke. When we got the number one pick, it was kind of a lock. We knew it would be Zion. But I wanted Zion because I thought, it's that impactful a player. But it's just, he's missed more games than he's played at this point.
Yeah, I've said it before on here. Like, I remember wanting the Bulls because we were in the lottery as well. I wanted the Bulls to get the second pick because I wanted Ja Morant and we needed a point guard as well. But Zion's injuries were always such a worry for me, and I'm honestly I'm not glad that my worries were justified. We want to see the best players play, and Zion could be up there, and it sucks, man. It sucks.
It's hard. I don't know. I just don't think we'll be back this season now. I think it's something's going on with this. They're not the Pelicans front office aren't getting completely honest. Something's going on, but who knows?
It's a strange one what they're doing. I don't really know. I was hoping you might have had a bit more of an idea, but it seems you don't have a clue either what they're playing.
No, he's in Portland. He's gone with the night team to rehab alone, not separate from the Pels team. So I just don't know, but it's the setbacks and his. But he's been getting a lot of abuse as well. A lot of people saying how overweight he is. People have been photoshopping pictures. We know he met and signed some shoes for a kid with his dad, and then people had photoshopped it so it looked like he had about an extra 40 pounds.
Oh, really?
Ridiculous. He's not in that bad shape, but it's,
I saw one of him courtside at a game, in his tracksuit and whatever, and he looked blown up then. But whether that was photoshopped as well, but
he's definitely put on a few pounds, but I don't think to the extent that.
He's a big guy, and he's not doing any cardio if he's got those injuries at the moment. He's probably doing very light stuff, so he's going to put on a bit of timber. That's just,
That's it. But fingers crossed, he's he's so young, so hopefully if that gets sorted out, we'll hopefully see him back this season at some point. But
honestly, I'm not just saying it. I do hope so. I really, really do, because it will be such a waste if we don't get to see Zion.
Yeah.
Soon, but if ever, it doesn't bear thinking about, does it? I really hope that's not the case. But you touched on it earlier, Rob. You play a bit as well. You play at quite a decent level. Obviously not at the moment, you're out injured, but you play at quite a decent standard, right?
Yeah, I was going to Team GB over 35s team, but I got scuppered because of my knee.
Wow.
I did have surgery date set, but then got COVID 2 days before the surgery, and then you have to wait 90 days since you had COVID. So I went for the pre-op again last week, so just wait for the next date. They said it should be middle of Feb, so fingers crossed, get that done.
Oh man, when was that supposed to have been?
I've got COVID in October, but I've had the knee injury going on for ages. Obviously with COVID going on, getting the date for an operation, it was just a nightmare. But I couldn't play with it.
I saw you were in the gym training a bit on the dodgy knee, and it just
didn't
hold
a little
out.
bit, just like slight jumpers, but I can't do any sort of full scrimmage or anything like that, or attempt to vertical jump or anything like that. It's just keeping active really, but. Yeah, it's a shame because Sadie Mason, who runs the Team GB Maxi Basketball program, great program by the way. It's like they do over 35s, over 40s, I think over 50s as well. So
wow.
It's a great way to play at that level, when you're a bit older. So it's a really, really good program, organisation they're getting going there. But she said, with that injury, you can't play. I had it diagnosed, and it's just a pain. So I'll go again next year. I've got my knee done. So yeah.
Get back rehabbing and get back playing, man. Definitely.
Yeah, that's it, man. So
I'm not of the knee injury. Well, I've got one myself, which I got playing football, but never quite recovered from. But I'm jealous that you play at that level, because I absolutely suck. I'm really, really bad. It's embarrassing how terrible I am, actually, to be honest. But I never put the work in, so it's my own stupid fault. I don't know if you're aware, everyone knows I only got back into the game 6 years ago, so
yeah,
massive regret.
No, I was similar. I sort of had a break from it, and then sort of got back into it again, and miss playing. My local team, Daventry Vikings, my mates just text were on there saying, "Get your knee, get onto the surgeon." We lost 69-38.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so get on the surgeon, get back.
Wow, and you play at guard, right?
Yeah, play guard. Yeah, point or shooting guard.
Nice. I played a bit at school.
Yeah.
I was definitely not as good as my cocky younger self thought I was.
Yeah.
I always thought I was all right, but I really wasn't. Looking back now, I was really terrible. I went to school with Craig Hughes from Chain Net Apparel.
Oh yeah.
Who was quite a solid player at school, and his brother Gary, his name was. He was a couple of years older, I believe, maybe 2 or 3 years older. He was a really, really solid player. I don't know if Gary's still playing now. I'm not sure, and I know Craig plays a bit he does a bit of coaching as well, Craig. But I remember playing at school with him, and I'm 5'8.5" now, so there wasn't really much hope. Try telling Isaiah Thomas and Bugsy Mogs that, but I was just useless, mate. To be honest with you, and it pains me to admit it, but I'm just terrible. So when I see people playing at a decent standard, I'm very, very jealous. Very jealous.
It's horrible not being able to play. When you just walk past the course somewhere and you see people playing, you just want to go and play. But yeah, I'll be back soon.
My other half, someone she works with, plays. They just play a bit of pickup every week, and she was talking to him about me, and he sort of said, "Look, get him to come along." And I was like, "You're joking, aren't you?" I'll embarrass myself. And he was actually at the Chain Net Apparel 2-on-2 tournament for the Open in Orchard Park. And she goes, "Come and meet him." So I went over and met him, and the man's an absolute giant, a massive beard like yourself. He looks like a. I'm like, imagine if I'd rocked up to to scrimmage with these guys, and they're just giants, and I'm a 5'8.5", and I can't even shoot. Like, I can't offer nothing. I've got a dodgy knee. I've got my shoulder. I had to have an operation on my shoulder. I'm falling apart anyway. So yeah. I politely declined his offer, but I would love to do it, because I would love for the fun, but it would just be embarrassing, and I would be that one that people would be like, "Oh God, he's back again," So it's not fair on them
Yeah,
for
it's
me
great.
to.
It's good. Damn, mate, it's great. I mean, it's one of those sports basketball. My stepdaughter, she's 6. She just started going a couple of weeks ago. She loves it.
Yeah.
Bless her. I've had to get her a little ball because she can't reach hoop with the big ball yet. But
Oh, brilliant.
even with that, got her a little ball. She loves it. She goes. Every Friday she goes. She can't wait for it. And it's really cute.
Brilliant. My
It's good
boy's
to
the
get
same.
into
My
that.
boy's only 4. Well, he'll be 5 in April. My boy, and he loves it. Like when I have him every other weekend, and my daughter, she's not really so into it, but he as soon as he gets here, he puts his basketball jersey on. He's got the headband, and that hoop behind that's actually his. That side
Oh,
there.
is it? Oh, cool, mate. Yeah.
And he's
We've got a hoop in the garden. My little boy, he's not that into it. He likes playing it, but he doesn't like watching it. I
Right.
want to give him a shout out. Love you, son. You right, Frey? He's 9. I said I was doing this live. Did give me a shout out, Dad? I went,
Oh,
yeah, of course
bless
I will.
him.
Bless him.
Brilliant.
But yeah, he picks a ball up and he scores. Shoot once, score. I'm like, keep playing. You're good. He's like, I'm going back in to play on PlayStation.
Just
Like,
gets
oh,
fed up.
yeah.
Yeah, Ollie's the opposite. I'll take him down a park with his ball, and he can reach the full size hoop, but
Yeah.
not every time. Far from it. But
Yeah.
he might miss 99 shots, and he will still carry on. He will not get bored, and it's just
Yeah.
like.
It's beautiful to see that. It's a love for the game. And people love playing kids.
Ah.
Like I said, they'll just keep going and going.
He
And it's brilliant.
just doesn't give up, and he'll sit and watch it. He won't watch a whole game with me. He gets a bit bored. But to be fair, even my daughter will watch a game. In fact, I actually when she was here, maybe just before Christmas, I think she said to me about why is it only the boys that play basketball, Dad? I said no, it's not. No, it's not at all. And we watched a Chicago Sky game with my daughter.
Yeah.
We only watched a quarter, and she got fed up, but. It was, that was quite cool, and to her, it blew her mind that women play the game as well, and
Yeah.
at an amazing level, I might add. And she's not too bad, but she's just not as interested. She's a girly girl, so
Yeah.
maybe she'll shock us and she can play a bit of football.
Few years she'll be in the WNBA.
Oh, it would be
You can
awesome.
retire early.
I think there's more chance of Ollie making it if we're being honest, but you never know.
Yeah.
She might absolutely shock me. But yeah, the more kids playing, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And there's a good I think NBA UK, they did do a good thing with the grassroots basketball. They get to play and to do practicing. They'll get I think there's a Knicks kit and there's like another little vest that's NBA branded, got the team logos on. They get to play in them. So
I know we're talking about kids and we should let it slide, but you did say Knicks.
Right. I forgot the one rule. I have to put it back on again now. I had one job, didn't I?
But no, it is brilliant. And I saw, I think it was Elliot from Moving and Luton shared one of the schools has got in with a WNBA, junior NBA program.
Yeah.
And they're sort of encouraging a lot of schools to get involved. So hopefully
Yeah,
a few more have.
sorry, I think that's what I meant to say. So the junior NBA, that's what they're doing. They've got quite a few team kits that they provide all the balls and everything. And yeah, it seems really good to pump a bit of money into it. So
yeah, it's good. It's needed, isn't it, in this country? It's if the kids can't play it, then what hope have we got, really?
That's it, definitely. I mean, going back to what we were saying earlier, like early '90s, it was the only real way to check on it. There was that show on Channel 4. You remember it?
Yeah. Mark
Yeah.
Webster.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's that show, but that was about it. And you get a weekly sort of update, and yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to videotape the games for Sunday night.
It's a hell of a lot easier these days, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, with League Pass and stuff and everything. So
yeah, it's amazing.
But,
Right, Rob, we're going to do a quick... I haven't actually given you the heads up for this, but I'm just going to read out this week's games and just give me a prediction on the win-loss total. Last week's, I've got a confession. I made a big error because I included the Thunder game. We had Scott on last week, and I included the Thunder game, which, of course, is tonight. So because we recorded on a Tuesday, it threw me out a little bit. So I'm going to avoid that. Scott had 2 and 2, and I had 3 and 1. And it was 1 and 2. So, do you know what? I'm not going to avoid that, Scott. I'm not going to avoid that. That's not fair. I'm going to include tonight's game in last week's. So we'll come back to that next week. That's not fair on Scott because I can't win. Currently, the guests have got 1 point. They've got 1 right, and I've only got 1 right in. I think this is the 11th attempt now. So we're going to just do on the 3 games then. I'll take the Thunder game out tonight because we'll include that into Scott's. So we've got the Raptors. We've obviously got Thunder tonight, but we got Raptors at home on Wednesday.
Yeah.
The Spurs on the road Friday, and Portland at home on Sunday. So out of those 3, Raptors, Spurs, and Portland.
If Levine's travelling tonight, isn't he? Sorry, Casey. I know if he'll be back in the United Centre for the Raptors game, I think they could do that. I think the Raptors game would win. I'd expect them to beat Portland and the Spurs, to be honest. I'm going to say 3-0.
Oh, man.
Going for it. Looking at,
That's what I was going to go with, because I thought you were going to go 2-1. So I'm going to have to go 2-1.
Yeah.
Because there's no way I'm saying 1 and 2.
You'd expect the Bulls to beat Portland and San Antonio. Depends how Siakam plays for Toronto, though. And Van Vliet's been playing real good. So I'll go 3-0. If Levine's back for that game.
I think he will be. He's travelled, like you say, he's travelled to Oklahoma today to join up with the team. Whether he plays or not, I think he must be. They must be expecting him to play, because I don't know why he would travel down there when they're back at home.
He gets a few minutes tonight, like I said, and then he gets some bigger minutes against Raptors United.
I think that's how it's going to play out. I mean, Javonte Green's back as well.
Yeah.
Again, whether he's on a minutes restriction, we don't know at the moment, unless that's come out since we've been recording. I'll have a check, but it's either way, it's great that we got those guys near in return, because with Lonzo and Caruso out, we need Javon. Obviously we need Zach. I mean, that goes without saying, but Javonte's vital for us as well.
Yeah.
Especially on the defensive end, which is now it's just about outscoring teams. I think that's with Lonzo and Caruso out. It's a killer.
In those cases, sometimes the best form of defence is attack when that happens.
Yeah, I'm still struggling to deal with certainly the Caruso one. The Lonzo one, that's part of sports. That's just a freak injury. But the Caruso one, man, I'm not sure I'll ever be over it.
No, that's the upsetting on Caruso, because it's avoidable. It didn't need to happen, and that's what the most frustrating thing is. And he'd only just come back as well. And it's
it's a killer. That's a killer, especially when he played on with it. So you thought, he might be okay. Not to be. What a man to play on with a fractured hand. That's crazy, absolutely madness. But. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. No, I'm not over it, and probably be having the same conversation next Monday night, and I still won't be over it. So
that's it.
Yeah. And if you tweet something about it, I'm absolutely gonna bite as well. Just putting that out there because I can't help myself. Rob, before we go, mate, just give your socials a quick shout out.
Yeah, Bobbie Buckets 11, I think it is, on Twitter. Same on Instagram as well. I'm always active on there. It's a great community, NBA UK community, and all over. And then, you might be seeing a Pels UK one soon then.
Do it, man. Set it up now. Get the name out. Get the name ready now, even if you don't tweet from it. That's what I've done with this account. I just got the name ready, and I sat on it for probably about 5 or 6 months. I think I actually sat on it. Do it, man. You'll do a great job. You're well active. You're well loved actually in the community. Everyone loves you to bits. So
everyone's so great in the community. It's brilliant. It's such a great community. You just sit on Twitter all day, just on the NBA community. It's a brilliant. Everyone's great guys, great laughs, and everyone's really cool.
Shout out Geraint Jones from Orlando Magic UK, who's just jumped in the comments. Have you discussed the Magic game yet, mates? I don't know what you're talking about, Geraint. I don't think we've played Magic this season. No, we did. Yeah, we beat you earlier in the season. I think that's the only time we've played you. No, we did discuss it. We did discuss it, Geraint. And actually, I gave you a bit of love as well about our backwards and forwards on Twitter. So, go and listen to that back, mate, because you do get a bit of a shout out there. And yes, Magic deserved the win, and I gave them credit for it. There was no excuses over here, so fair play, Geraint. You've absolutely hammered me there. And to be fair, I've got to say he did let me off the hook really, because I didn't get too much stick from him this morning, which was surprising. So fair play.
But indeed, heard from Matt and Diane.
Not directly, but he did put a picture out of his Orlando Magic t-shirt saying that he was going to be wearing that to the gym today.
Yeah.
That was this morning. which of course, me being me, I bit and commented. But Martin knows that's all in good faith. I love that man. What he does is for the community.
He's a great guy. Like to speak to, when he speaks to me, you hear the passion in his voice about what he's doing, and he's just a great guy.
He is unbelievable. So yeah, shout out Martin from the GG3X3. Incredible man, incredible setup that he's got with the GG3X3, and they've raised a hell of a lot of money for charity. So if you haven't followed that, get on with that, get on board with that, because it's brilliant. And they do a tournament each year, and the tournament I've been to, I've volunteered at one of them. I couldn't make last year's, sadly, but the one I went to was such a good event, an amazing event. And he did have he had a Christmas one planned just before Christmas, a smaller one, but sadly that got cancelled the week before because of the COVID outbreak. So that was a real shame, because I was hoping to get to London for that as well, because that would have been good fun. So yeah, shout out to Martin and all the Magic fans, even you, Geraint. Can't believe I'm saying that. Right, Rob, thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate your time. It's been great chatting with you.
Thank you for having me on, man. It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Good, man. Thank you so much. And yeah, go and set that Pals account up, man. Do it.
I'll get on it. I'll be adding you and asking for advice every day.
Don't come to me. There's much better people than me out there, believe you me. Cheers, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Right, guys, we will probably be back. We should be back next Monday with another episode. As always, thank you for watching, for catching up, or just listening on the podcast. As always, I really do appreciate it. I still find it crazy that people listen to me rabbiting on, but yeah, it's amazing. So thank you so much. Enjoy all the games this week. Hopefully the Bulls bounce back tonight against the Thunder. And yeah, I mean, our next 4 games are certainly winnable. Oh, also shout out next Sunday, the Portland game is actually an 8:30 tip next Sunday. A UK friendly 8:30 tip. So yeah, that should be hopefully a win. A UK friendly win. Oh, dare I say it. I've said that too many times and we've lost. But hopefully we can go 4-0 in the next 4. And yeah, enjoy, guys. And as always, stay safe out there. Thank you very much. See ya.